Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing really, really well today. I'm Michelle Legaly. I'm the creator of the Empaths and Sensitives Facebook group and the Inner Work Life Coaching Certification and Business Building Program, and also a membership called Inner Work Circle, which I'm going to talk about today because I have a $7 trial. Before every single week, I come on and do some type of tool, tip, or training somewhere in the realm of intuitive work, inner work, energy work, emotional work, life coaching. Those are like my areas that I'm fascinated with. Today, I want to talk about mindset versus heartset versus gutset. And if you're here with me live, do me a favor and say hello in the chat. I'd love to say hi right back to you. If you're catching the replay, put hashtag replay. It doesn't matter if you catch it live or on the replay. If it helps you and serves you in any way, then I've done what juices me. Okay. Today I call myself an inner work life coach, but back in the day, I went to mediumship school. I was fascinated with intuitive work. I loved it. I've always been fascinated with that kind of thing, the spirit world, connecting with loved ones who've crossed on, the way the mind works, people's emotions, psychology. Like, it is my obsession. And the path that I chose was to study mediumship. So I went to a 2-year program called the Mediumship or Mastery Mediumship or Mediumship Mastery Program. It was a 2-year long program. At the end of that program, we were tested by professional mediums, and whether we passed or not, whether we were actually getting evidential information for people, and if those readings were evidential, positive, and uplifting and making people's lives better. Awesome people, awesome school. I loved it. One of the nights when I was training at that school, we had this event, and this event was open to the public. There were going to be all of us student mediums there. And we were going to give readings, like 15, 20-minute readings. And I wasn't feeling good that day. I went to the reading anyway, but I felt really nauseous all day. Either I thought I was probably nervous, or maybe I was sick. I wasn't sure, but I was so committed to showing up when I said I was going to show up. You guys can probably relate to that. And so I showed up at the event, didn't feel well at all. I started to give readings. And when I would give a mediumship or even intuitive reading or mediumship reading, I close my eyes and I kind of go into my gut heart space. Like, I go down deep and I am tapping in to the person and myself and opening myself up to that information. But it always felt deep. And the problem that day was I felt so sick. So anytime I focused on my gut, it made it worse. So I gave the first reading, felt really sick, and it was a good reading for her. She got a lot out of it. But for me, I felt even sicker than I did before. So I thought to myself, again, because I wasn't smart enough yet or brave enough to tell people, sorry, I have to cancel. What I did was, okay, Michelle, you're going to get out of your gut and you're just going to stay in your head. You're just going to stay up here. Because if you keep going into your gut, you're going to get sick. So I pulled my energy up, or my attention up, and I just stayed in my head space. And then the next person came in. And then in that next reading, I just gave her information that I was getting from my head space, not my heart space or my gut space where I normally operate. I just stayed in my head with my eyes closed. When I opened my eyes, she had tears coming down her face, and she told me how meaningful that was to her. And I thought to myself, how could information just from my head be accurate? I thought I had to dig all the way down to the depths of me to get accurate, deep, important, significant information. Does that make sense? So and I started to feel better. The rest of my night, I stayed up here. And I did just as well as if I had focused on any other part of my body. So I started to think to myself, this is so interesting. So got through that night. It went fine, got home, finally felt better eventually. And then I started to practice when I would give readings to people. I would give some information from my head. I would give some information from my heart. And then I would give some information from my gut. Now, the sitter, the person getting the reading, had no idea what I was doing in my mind, right? I was just giving information. They didn't know my focus was on different parts of my body. And it all made sense to people. So I started to go, wow, I can not only stay in one part of my body to keep my awareness, I can also access different bits of information based on where I focus my attention on in my body. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so that's one part. The other cool thing, since I'm an empath and a sensitive person, just like you are, what I noticed when I went out in social situations, I'm just completely open. You know how we just can feel everything? What I did in social situations is I kept my energy in my head. And I noticed when I went to parties, I didn't have the social anxiety that I normally did. If people were talking about what we would call superficial things, it didn't trigger me. It didn't cause me any anxiety. I could stay in superficial conversations and enjoy it. If someone even wanted to go deeper, I could still stay in my head and go deeper just because I think we're wired that way. Even that part of my life improved. So I'm sharing that with you, number one, for you to learn how to access information in different ways. And number two, if you suffer from any, if you can't stand non-depth conversations or superficial conversations, I want you to see that they have value, and it's just you're open to the depths of you, and here it's almost like a different language and it doesn't resonate. But if you pull your energy up, those conversations will feel very different. Now, I had one of my own students say to me, Michelle, why do I have to change? Why am I the one who has to change and pull my energy up? That's ridiculous. And I go, because you're the one who wants to go in a social situation. I don't think we need to ask anyone else to change. They get to be in the world in any way they want. They're doing the best they can. And we get to be in the world any way we want. We're doing the best we can. But we always have the choice on how much we want to take information in. I want all of us to thrive in our lives. Okay. Somebody just said, oh my gosh, that's so helpful. Stay in the head to tolerate superficial conversations. I can't wait to try it. Yes. If that's what you get out of today, your life will change. Think about us empaths and sensitives. We want to stay in our houses. We want to stay in our rooms, partly because of what we're talking about today. Okay. I guess I'm prefacing today all just anything that could be helpful for you. So one of the things, I have a membership called Inner Work Circle. It used to be called Intuition Circle, and we just focused on practicing using and developing our intuition to improve our lives, to get more tapped into our own guidance. And we still have that. But I knew there was a gap in that program about us dealing with our unprocessed emotions as empaths and sensitives. We pick up on so much stuff, and our first thought is for us to learn how to block it, stop it, turn it off, which is a good tool to learn. But we have to process all the stuff we take on. And honestly, I learned that half the stuff I thought I was taking on was actually my own stuff unprocessed. I was taking other people's on. So there was a big gap in my own program. So we moved it to the Inner Work Circle, where we spend at least, I think we're once a week right now, doing our own inner work, tapping into our own feelings, our own sensations, our own crap that's going on in our lives, because that is just a mirror to what we're ready to heal. So we can use every circumstance in our life. There's no blame. There's no shame. We use those circumstances that are causing us inner angst to heal ourselves. So we've kind of moved it to Inner Work Circle. We still have a lot of intuitive work we're doing. This month we're doing soul writing. Next month we're going to move to head, heart, and gut. because I really want to teach that in depth. Okay, so let me give you a taste of it today. When I talk about mindset, I'm talking about what's happening in the mind, the chatter of the mind, the inner dialogue, the empowering and disempowering thoughts. It is shocking how critical we are of ourselves. It is shocking. At least it was to me and the people I work with. In fact, for me, we do some exercises inside Inner Work Circle. And one of the exercises is to start doing a thought download and a feeling download every day, just to see what your mind is doing, just to wake up to those subtle thoughts that you're not even barely conscious of. All that stuff chips away at our self-esteem, our self-image, our self-concept. Okay. So that's the mindset. Really, what are we thinking? Heartset. What are we really feeling about ourselves, about the world, about our place in the world, our beliefs? And then Gutset. Now, this is different for everyone, but I'm just going to give you a general. Gutset to me, it feels, there's a couple things. For me, Gutset can be knowing what I need to do and knowing when I need to pause, knowing when I need to go. It's almost like the action or inaction area. What else is it? It's also, our survival instincts, like, I know I shouldn't walk down a dark alley at midnight in a strange city. That survival instinct, like, you know that feeling, when like something creepy is going on. You, especially our kind of people, we have that one turned on hyper, right? And that's that gut instinct. And I don't want it to be out of fear-based. I want you to do enough processing of unprocessed emotions and thoughts so that when you get into that intuitive space, that you can trust it. You're not reacting out of fear. You're not reacting out of any disempowering emotions and thoughts, that you feel really solid in what you're hearing and you know how to take action on that. That is a life well lived that you're going to be happy with. Okay, does that make sense for everybody? Okay, let's do a quick exercise. I know I threw a lot at you today, and I just put in the chat the details to Inner Work Circle, my membership. It's a $7 trial right now. Normally it's $47 a month, cancel anytime. But right now, as I transition it to Inner Work Circle, and we're still ironing out the wrinkles in our new way of operating, it's a $7 trial. You can try it for $7 for 30 days. If you don't want to, if it's not for you, you just let us know. You email me and say I'm not interested. No questions asked. No problem. We cancel your membership. If you like it and want to stay, it'll be $47 the next month. Again, cancel anytime. There's no obligations. Okay, awesome. Okay, let's go through this last thing. Close your eyes if you're not driving a car and you feel safe. I just want to take you through the mind, the heart, and the gut. And I just want you to notice any differences you see. Okay, if your eyes are closed, I want you to bring all your attention to your head. And I have a strange little exercise that really works. Take your hands to the side of your head. And I want you to take a deep breath in and imagine your head is expanding, almost like that stretch you do in the morning to wake up. Do that same kind of refreshing stretch. And as you exhale, just let it settle back to however it wants to. Just like in the morning when you stretch and then you release the stretch, you just feel relaxed. Let's do it again. Do that morning stretch with your head space, like you're waking up. And as you exhale, go, and just let your head space settle back to wherever it wants. Okay, let's stay in our head spaces for just a few seconds. and just notice how it feels. Okay, good job. Bring your awareness now, let it go down into your heart space. And I believe this is the easiest one for us to tap into, either because we're women, we're sensitives. I don't know why. It could just be the way we're wired. Come into your heart space. If you need help coming into your heart space, take your hands to your chest. Take a breath in, expand your heart space like a morning stretch, and then exhale and just let it come back really like relaxed and comfortable. Okay, your heart space is also in your middle back. So this time when you breathe in and stretch out your back also, your front back, side to side. Beautiful. Let that come back. Just keep your awareness in your chest now and see how that feels. And just note that it feels the same as your head space or different, or you don't know. Okay, last spot. Let's go all the way down to that solar plexus area, that gut instincts. This is a space that is often overused by empaths for lots of different reasons. So let's give it some attention here and take a deep breath in. Feel your solar plexus expand like a morning stretch. And as you exhale, just let it soften back and relax your belly. Let's do it again. Expand that solar plexus front to back, side to side, up and down, like a morning safe stretch. As you exhale, just let it settle to however it wants to. Now keep your attention there. Okay, I'm going to add one more thing that I wasn't planning on, but I feel like we need to do it. Bring your attention all the way down to your root. To do that, is it called Kegel squeezes? Do that squeeze and really bring your attention down to your root. And I want you to imagine, sense, and feel that you're about to zip up your jacket. So you know you have to put the two pieces of metal together. That's what helps me get my attention down to the root. So I've got a zipper that I'm putting together at the root. And I want you to do that now. I want you to put those two pieces together. And once they're together, I want you to zip up the jacket nice and slow, but with a breath. So I want you to zip up a breath, and it goes through your gut, your heart, your head, and let it go out the top of your head. And my energy recirculates and goes around me like a fountain. And if you want to do that, that's great. And it settles at the bottom of the root again. I do the zip and I pull the energy back up. And then as I exhale, I let it fountain around me. Let's do one more. Your energy settles at the bottom of the root, and you're going to breathe it up through those three spots. And let it kind of fountain around you. Okay, whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, I went a little longer than I was planning on, but that's okay. How do you feel right now? What are you thinking? Did you notice a difference between your head, the mind, the heart, and the gut? Yes or no in the chat. Starting inside Inner Work Circle, our main focus is going to be head, heart, and gut work, really training you to understand how to use these abilities. And there's lots of reasons to want to develop your abilities. We want to be the healthiest, happiest people possible, because when we are that, it ripples out to our family, our friends, the world. It's the greatest way to make the world a better place, in my opinion. But not only that, you get to see everything you're capable of. You have so many gifts and abilities that you're not even really that aware of yet. And I mean this in the best way. I want to show you all the gifts and abilities you have. Whether you want to take those abilities and use it to help others, or whether you just use it in your own life to make your life the best it can be, or both. I do both. But whatever your reason, it's so worth it. It's so worth it to learn these techniques. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Like I said, I'm sharing that with you today, mindset, heartset, gutset, because it's going to be our focus next month. This month, we're still working on soul writing, and we're doing a lot of the inner work in the next couple of weeks. If you are interested in the $7 trial, you will find the link inside the chat here. I will also post it at the top. If you have any questions, please put a big Q in the comments and then your question, and I'll make sure to come back and answer this. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.